Ladies and gentlemen, there is finally another update on Johnny Somali. I haven't heard his name in like a month, 2 months. I haven't heard any updates on the case. I haven't really heard anything about him, to be honest, which is actually quite a good thing, right? Up until now, because on the 7th of March, he went to court. And let's just say things didn't go as he would have hoped. Johnny Somali pleads guilty in South Korean court after showing up late and hungover. You can't make this up. Controversial streamer Johnny Somali finally made his long-awaited court appearance after terrorizing South Korea and pled guilty to the charges he knew about. Right, and if this is your first time hearing about Johnny Somali, I'll give you a quick little rundown as to the type of person he is. Right, so thus far he's been accused of violating anti-terrorism laws, threatening to sexually assault female streamers, drug use, creating AI deepfakes of other creators, violating the Railroad Act, and even spreading North Korean propaganda. The guy's a fucking mess. So, on the 7th of March 2025, Johnny Somali, real name Ramzi Khalid Ismail, I guess is how you pronounce it, showed up to court an hour late wearing an oversized suit and a MAGA hat, which he was asked to remove multiple times. According to the YouTube lawyer Legal Mindset, Somali, who has been staying with his streamer roommate Hank Yu, pled guilty to obstruction of business and 2 counts of violating the Minor Crimes Act. We'll get into those in a minute, right? But my man, he really showed up to court hungover, right, wearing a MAGA hat. And the thing I don't understand is, my guy, you're in Korea. Who gives a fuck about a MAGA hat? Like, what are you doing? Somali had planned to stream the trial on Party, which would have found him to be in contempt of court. Now, I've got to be honest, I have no idea what that means, right? But just going off a hunch, I'm guessing that probably means you're not allowed to live stream yourself in a courtroom. Who would have guessed? Going live on the app the day before the trial, he claimed he had a deal in the works to stream his court appearance. Yeah, I mean, that was obviously bullshit. I'll play a little clip of this live stream. It was just him stood in front of a camera, dressed as Donald Trump, rambling about a bunch of random bullshit that didn't make any sense whatsoever. So I'm not going to waste your time. I'll play a small clip. But yeah, just look at it. The guy's a fucking mess.
Hello, I am Johnny Somali. I am part of the criminal nuisance live streamer gang called CX. We are part of a live streaming international criminal mafia of nuisance streamers.
You see what I'm saying? Just rambling on like a fucking idiot, right? And if that didn't embarrass him enough, right, just hours before the start of the trial, Somali went live on Party again and got hammered to the point of throwing up in his friend's apartment. Like, it's actually quite impressive how this guy manages to just make a situation worse and worse. Like, it doesn't even seem, like, it seems like some shit from like a comedy skit. Like, it doesn't even seem real, right? But this is a clip of him drinking at 3 a.m, getting shit-faced right before he has court. Like an idiot.
I'm giving y'all the first viral moment tonight. I just threw up everywhere. Oh my god. God damn, I just threw up everywhere.
I've got to be honest, right? As embarrassing as that was for him, right? I'm pretty sure the only reason he got that drunk is because he was nervous. Like, obviously, he wouldn't have said that. He won't admit that, right? I'm streaming. Let's have fun. No, let's be honest. The reason you got that shit-faced is because you're terrified of going to jail, which chances are, my guy, you're going to go to a Korean jail, right? So that, I'm just guessing, but if like, that makes sense. Like, not like, because who in their right mind would get shit-faced before court? Nobody, unless you're just really fucking scared of going to court and getting put in jail, which I kind of, look, as dumb as it is, I kind of understand it, if that is the reason why. All right, so now we get into the actual trial, right? Now, a bunch of YouTubers, they went all the way to Korea just to like document this process and like sit in the courtroom, which, shout out to those people, fair play, right? And one of these people was the guy who goes by the name The Legal Mindset, right? Now, I'm going to read out some of the tweets, or what do you call X's? I'm going to read out some of the things that he said, because he was there, about the trial, right? And then I'm going to give you a little bit of extra information and then my opinion, obviously, right? So, the legal mindset said this. Ramsey's first day of trial just concluded. He was 1 hour late and came in with his roommate Hank. Both Ramsey's lawyer and Ramsey had no idea about the new charges, so they pushed the next trial date for 3 weeks from today, April 9th. Johnny pled guilty to all the other charges. Right now, I'm going to go into a little bit more depth in a little bit, right? Because it's kind of complicated as to like, you'll understand in a minute, right? But it's a little bit more in depth than that sounded, right? But I'll get into it. He also said this. Reminder, Ramsey faces a total of 4 charges, 2 counts of obstruction of business and 2 violations of the Minor Crimes Act. Today, he pled guilty to 1 count of obstruction, convenience store, and 2 counts of the Minor Crimes Act, dead fish harassment and disrupting subway/bus. Right now, let me just break this down, because if you don't know about it, you're like, what the fuck does that even mean? Let's start with the 2 counts of the Minor Crimes Act, right? So the dead fish harassment. Basically, he went around Korea with a giant dead rotting fish, and he was like putting it in people's faces, walking on buses with it, so it like stunk up the place. Just general harassment with a dead fish, right? So that's that one. And disrupting subway/bus. He did that on another occasion where I think he walked around blasting music, and he was like twerking on people, just doing weird shit. More harassment, basically.
I don't mind if he sleeps with young guys, cause in my country we can touch young guys on their penis.
So there are those 2 Minor Crimes Act, right? Whatever that means, right? I think basically if like you're in America, they class as like misdemeanors, right? Pretty much. So there's those 2. Now, the 2 counts of obstruction are the big ones. So one of them says is the convenience store, right? Which basically he went to a 7-Eleven, hammered again, just drunk, and was acting just like a fucking idiot. He was like disrespecting like an old woman, just like messing around, being a nuisance. And you're also not allowed to drink in convenience stores. So he also broke the law there as well, which I think probably is part of this charge, right?
Jack Frost with a zesty Edgar. Get your ass on. We like Victor from Despicable Me using the upside down.
Father was right to say you should never have kids. Your father was right. Your father was right.
So there's that. Now the other one, right, the other counts of obstruction of business is the charge that he just found out about. This is a new charge that just got dropped on him that his lawyer had no fucking idea about, right? Which is why they requested to push the next court date forward a bit, right? So, and I looked around, I was trying to find what this actual, what this was. Nobody knows, right? There's a few people speculating, right? And it makes sense. People are speculating that he went to like a K-pop, I guess it was a kind of concert that was being streamed on TV, I'm pretty sure. And like he went on the stage again, started harassing people, started talking about North Korea, started talking about like, I think he even started talking about George Floyd at some point. I don't fucking know, right? But a lot of people were speculating that that's what this is, right? Nobody knows as of yet, but it's very likely, and it probably is, that that's the reason why, right? And I'll play a little clip of it here.
We're Dusty Joe.
I can't breathe. These niggas is racist. They're not letting black niggas dance, man. Let me dance with you. Let me dance with you niggas. I love China. I love North Korea.
So I found a little clip by the YouTuber Atozi, right? I think that's how you pronounce his name. You probably know who I mean, because as you can see, the guy, he's doing all right for himself, right? So he was also another YouTuber that went all the way to Korea to sit in the courtroom and document this whole thing, right? So shout out to him. This little clip is him talking to the legal mindset, right? The guy who was doing those tweets, right? Or writing those tweets. This is a clip of those two talking about this new charge that got dropped on Johnny Somali.
So that charge was actually it's the police case that the police have given over to the prosecutor. So it means that they're going to prosecute it. It's going to trial. Yeah.
In the Korean system, once the police decide to actually formally charge you and they send it to the prosecutors, that's pretty much it. That's where you get the 90+% conviction rate. You're pretty much done. If they've decided to go that far, that means they have the evidence to prove the crime.
So
If there's no evidence, it usually doesn't go to that point. They just drop the case, or if it's like two people having a fight or something, they settle or something like that. But in this case, it's gone to the prosecution, so not going to be fun for Johnny Boy.
So yeah, like that guy said, it's not looking good for Johnny Boy, right? It's not looking good, right? My man, he's pretty much fucked, right? You heard what they said. I also found out, just doing a little bit of research, that a lot of people, that are in the kind of legal game, they're all kind of saying that he's looking at around 3 to 5 years in jail, right? Which obviously isn't ideal for Johnny, but fuck it. That's what you get for fucking about. And now you're finding out, funny enough, right? So yeah, it's not looking good for him. He's looking at 3 to 5 years, maybe a fine as well. Some people are saying, well, maybe he would just get a giant fine. But at that point, it's like, I don't know what's better, like getting 3-5 years in jail or getting fined to the point where you're going to be paying that off for like the majority or like the rest of your life, probably. I don't know. I don't know how much money Johnny makes, but I don't think he's making that much, right? Not enough to cover, or not enough to instantly cover that amount of money that he's going to get fined if they choose to fine him instead of getting jail time. But I reckon he's going to go jail just so the Korean government can prove a point. Like, you come here, you want to fuck about, now you can find out. Get in the cage, right? I think that's what they're going to do. So chances are, based on what all of these kind of like professionals are saying, he's looking at 3 to 5 years. You fuck, Johnny Boy. So while doing some research and just looking up what's going on, I found out a crazy fact, right? Because if you've paid attention to this whole kind of case, this whole story of Johnny Somali, or you've watched some of my previous videos on this piece of shit, you'll know that what I've listed here today and what I've spoken about, they're not all of the charges that my man has been dealing with. And you may be like, well, so what happened to those? I'll explain. And this is fucking crazy. So in South Korea, right, crimes they're divided into Korea's in, like, I guess, I've only just found this out. Korea is split up into different districts, which is fucking crazy to me, right? So what this means is if you commit a crime in one district, right, the courts in this district, right, you'll have to go to those courts, right? But if you commit another crime in a different district, that's that district's problem, right? So these charges and all the stuff that I've been talking about today, this is just for one district. My man has to go, I'm pretty sure, and now look, correct me if I'm wrong, right? If there's any Koreans out here, if there's any legal, like, people that are obviously smarter than I am, right? It's probably not hard, but if you're out there and you know more than me, please let me know in the comments, right? But as far as I know, right, he's gone to court for this district. Now, after that, right, say he gets sentenced, charged, he still has to go to court for all the other fucked up stuff he did in the other districts. Like kissing the statue, or that disrupting the workers, the AI deepfake stuff, the harassing the girl, right? All of that stuff he did in a different district. So again, this stuff that I've spoken about today is one district. That's going to get sorted out. Then my man, he has to do the exact same thing with all the other crimes that he committed. So this is crazy. Even if he somehow worms his way out of this, he still has to go through a whole nother fucking trial for all the other bullshit he did, right? I know in my older videos I said, well, he'll probably get off. At this point, nah, my man, he's fucked, right? And the thing is, he just, for some reason, and this is what I said at the beginning, it's impressive, like, how much worse he can keep making this situation. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy, he's already facing a shit ton of time in jail. He turns up dressed as fucking Donald Trump. He turns up hammered, hungover, sorry, right? It blows my mind how you can be this retarded to where you just can't help but make your situation worse. It just blows my mind. It's fucking crazy. But that's it, to be honest. There's not really much else. Like the thing said, he got charged. Well, he got convicted. He pleaded guilty to those 3, but then he has to go back on the... Give me a sec. He has to go back on the 9th of April to face that new charge that got dropped on him that him and his lawyer knew nothing about. So that's going to be interesting. So I guess when that time comes, I'll probably make another video. If not, if nothing really happens, maybe if it's just kind of shitty, if nothing really goes on, I'll probably pin it in the comments. But if something actually goes down, maybe he actually gets sentenced and gets time in jail, I will make another video. So stay tuned. But other than that, that's it. Johnny Somali, you get what you get. You fucked around and now you found out. It is what it is, cocksucker. It's how the world works. Well, I say unfortunately. Unfortunately for you, not for anybody else. So, it is what it is, bozo. But that's it. Rats are too real. Stay tuned for the next update video, I guess. But other than that, road to 500 subscribers still. So if you want to help me out, please do. If you don't want to, that's cool. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. But other than that, that's it. Rats are too real.